So if you're flipping through the dial, you're thinking, weren't they on at noon? Well, yes, we were, because we're covering Colorado flooding, and this is an historic event in Colorado history. We've never seen anything quite like this before, and we're trying to give you the complete picture and the very latest information.
And just one statistic here, just for Boulder County alone, they are guesstimating the damages in the $100 to $150 million range. That is just Boulder County. We are talking 15 Colorado counties, I should say, that are affected by the flooding here. So speaking of Boulder, we want to go out to 7 News reporter Jacqueline Allen, and she's been there all afternoon, and that is one big muddy mess, and it's raining again.
Yeah.
And it's pouring rain. This has been going on off and on all afternoon. And, you know, people in Boulder are just saying enough already. Please, can we get a little bit of a break here? And I'm standing here in something that you cannot even believe it unless you see it. The problem with the flood isn't just the water, it's the mud. Look at this mudslide that was so strong, it actually split this building in two. You can see here on the left side, it went and split apart right here down the side of this building. And I've been talking to the owner of the building. His name is Bob Drake, and he's joining me here live in this rainstorm. Thank you so much for joining us here.
You're very welcome.
And you were coming to take a look at your building. You came out here on Friday morning, and this is what you found. What were you thinking?
I was absolutely stunned. I was absolutely stunned. You look at this building, and it was such a beautiful, serene setting, and to see what happened is beyond imagination.
You told me I've taken a lesson from this. Tell me about the lesson you say you've learned.
Well, the lesson is you talk about flood insurance, and people in the floodway need to get flood insurance. I don't have flood insurance because it's not in the floodway. And there's a farmer's office, farmer's insurance office just below me, who also didn't have flood insurance because it's not in the floodway.
Wow.
And people have to understand it's not just floods that are going to destroy your house. It can be mudslides.
Incredible. And I mean, when you see something like this, you never think a mudslide is going to go through the middle of the building you bought. And this was your retirement plan.
This was my retirement plan. And there was no creek here. There was a trickle every couple of years from snow melt for 3 or 4 days, and that's it.
Yeah, and now let's show people what you're talking about here. If he's saying this creek you can see here, it's running pretty well down the mountainside here. That wasn't there a couple of days ago, and now it's a pretty strong creek running down the mountain. And someone actually walked up there earlier to try to figure out where it was diverted from, and said that there's an actual 8-foot waterfall up the mountain a little ways, and it just keeps raining and raining here off and on. Right now it's pretty awful, and we're standing in the middle of a mudslide. We've got 10 feet of mud basically beneath our feet right now. What are you going to do? Can you rebuild this?
I have no idea. It's too early. I've put in my application with FEMA. I expect to get nothing. Anything I get is going to be a gift.
Well, I just have to say, Bob, you seem to have a great attitude, and I appreciate you standing out here in a rainstorm after a mudslide went through the middle of your building. What an incredible story.
Well, you know, we've been following you guys and your coverage, and it's kudos to you guys for all you've done on this.
Thank you very much. We really love hearing that. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thanks so much. And certainly I look at that situation in which someone has put so much work. I mean, that's the people side of this story. We've been looking at property, and you can see the waters and that sort of thing. And when you actually talk to the people who've been affected by it, it's amazing how great their attitudes are.
And it's just heartbreaking as well when you hear the stories of how they had to take their belongings, how they had to figure out a place to go. I mean, there were 1,800 people in shelters, but we're talking thousands of people. And so you know they're staying with friends and family. So this is affecting such a widespread area of our state, and so many families just